Ladies and gentlemen, man, listen. If y'all knew what happened behind the scenes, you would not believe that we're here. God is good, God is great. And tonight, he's not going to make us wait. My co host, Azar Muhammad, sponsored. This show is sponsored by Bang Hard Apparel, who is owned by Azar Muhammad. Tonight, it's also sponsored by Spillman's Tree Service. Listen, Downtown Thai is a sponsor. Brandon Horne's pressure washing company and his B&H Enterprises is sponsoring the show. Where do I start? God, he's such a good looking brother. He can walk next to Tyrese and they'd say, who the hell is Tyrese? Back in the club, he used to wear the tight white t-shirts with the V-neck and the girls would go crazy. From club brother to entrepreneur to father to motivator to innovator to serial entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to have Brandon Horne on the Spill with Spillman. Thank you for being here, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate you. Can you hear me well?
I hear you great, brother. I hear you great.
Yes.
Alpha Phi Alpha holla one time.
That's it. Oh six, oh six.
That's what's up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, just to create a little controversy, we had Antonio Stevens, Tiny, and he said he is a part of the best fraternity, the Q Dogs. What would you
Oh,
say in response to that, brother?
well, we the oldest and the coldest, so they came after us. So we all paving the way. Big shout outs to Tiny though, great guy.
That's
Uh,
our brother. Yeah.
yeah, so that's my D9 cousin.
Blessings. So I just wanna go backwards, back in time. I want to go back a few years ago, or when you had your mind shift from working, because you and I have been in contact for a long time, for working for another company to finally saying, I'm taking the leap of faith
Mm.
and I'm going to do it. Can you bring the viewers that may not know your story, can you bring us back to that?
Sure. First and foremost, again, I appreciate you gentlemen allowing me the opportunity to share this story in hopes of being able to get someone else to maybe take that leap of faith. But it actually started back in 2011. I was working. I'm gonna give you the whole backstory. I
Okay.
feel like it's necessary, but it started back in 2011 when I was working at Stanley Steamer, and with Stanley Steamer, as some of you may know, and some may not know, that it was a carpet cleaning business where we go to people's house, clean that carpet or what have you. And someone asked me, did I know someone who could pressure wash houses? And I was like, I don't know nobody who could do it. That was the first time ever really hearing about pressure washing.
Right.
And, you know, the lady was like, hey, yeah, I just need somebody to pressure wash this side of my house. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, number one, this job's not paying enough. Number two, this would be a good side hustle, something I could learn. Unbeknownst to me, I actually end up messing her house up when I took the job. I said, "Hey, look, I can do the job." She gave me the job, messed the house up.
No,
Uh,
you didn't.
I
No,
messed
you
the house
didn't.
up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
Uh,
shouldn't laugh at that.
but I tell you, it was growing pains because I knew from that point moving forward that I could do it, and it was just needed for me to learn something different. So, got enrolled into Winston-Salem State, graduated from there, but through that process I was still doing pressure washing.
Yes,
And I
sir.
mean, I'm completely at that time it was just a little bit of side money, weekend money, because I was still working, jobs or what have you. But moving forward, graduated from college, and it was just one of those things where it continued to move around. People kind of knew who I was, and just the kind of things that I was doing in the community. And um, I ended up getting a job. I got fired, and then I got
Fired.
into insurance. And then once I got into insurance, I got laid off. And I was just like, you know what? Enough is enough. I've been fired from 10 jobs. I'm tired of people telling me what to do. Um,
Right.
and big shout outs to my friend, one of my good friends, Jamal Scott. I called him right after I got laid off.
Man.
That's my
What?
guy. And he
Yes.
told me, he said, yo, B, it's time. And they gave me a severance package, and right before, and interestingly enough, that was 2 weeks before COVID hit. So that was when Trump was giving out all that money. So everything just kind of worked out. But it was so many people that played a major part in me taking that step. Because I won't say that I took the leap of faith, because I knew, number one, 2 weeks prior, I was just praying and praying and praying, God, remove me from this job. I didn't know he was gonna move me out that fast, and I just knew it was time to really get out there and get to it. So I took everything I had and put it into the business.
And you said Jamar Scott. That's crazy. I just shared
Yeah.
one of his posts. Let's give a shout out and give a flowers to our brother Jamar Scott.
Absolutely.
Man, you need that lawn right. He can get you right. You need the photo booth, the 360 photo booth.
That's it.
Man, such a good brother, man. So some people would deem that being fired. You remember Donald Trump on "you're fired"?
Yeah.
It's such a harsh term in America. Even when I let my guys go from tree work after millions of chances to get it right, I don't think I've ever told somebody they're fired because it just seems so slanderous and evil. But some people deem that as like a setback. But
Sure.
to you, you used it as a step in the right towards progression.
Sure.
So that is powerful. Whenever you write your book or you do your story, that's a powerful thing to say to our young people, because some of our young kids are killing themselves. They're killing each other, but bless you, after depression, they seem to think that failures are the end of the road. So what would you say to them about there's light at the end of the tunnel?
Don't give up. I know it sounds so cliche, but I heard something the other day. It say nothing is ever as good or as bad as you think it is. There's always a way around whatever it is that you may be going through, and a lot of the times you really have to adopt the mindset of continually knowing that everything's going to get better. Even through college, I was working 3 jobs and also pressure washing, but I knew that there was something going to come bigger and better than where I was currently at. So, just don't allow that setback to really kind of throw you off your game. Just keep going and keep growing, and just know that things are going to get better.
Hey, guess what? Speaking of Tiny, guess what he just said?
What's that?
He said Horne is a game changer.
What's up, brother?
Big Tiny, man. I still have chills from his interview. And speaking of, it's crazy. He said that. I was just waiting for him to respond so I can give him some flowers. He has a few books. We gave away 4 of these books on our last show, but there's something I just wanted to read real fast, right? You were speaking about it on your Eventbrite, which I'm going to get to your event you have coming up. See, we're all connected, 6 degrees of separation. In his book, he says, mindset, where is it? I had it. Lord, that's why they call bookmarkers. Here it is right here. Man, listen, the answer to America's crisis. I've been in and out of this book. I'm actually going to quiz him on his own book. Okay, mental health. Listen what Tiny says. Negativity, impatience, and frustration are imposed upon our young people every day.
Mm-hmm.
And we wonder why there's such poor mental health. Why did I catch your live talking about your event and mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he says that, right? Antonio says that, you say that, you guys are trying to save youth, particularly black youth out here. Piggybacking off what he said, can you expound on your event and how important mental health is?
Sure. So as you all know, and some may not know, this will be our 4th annual Fathers and Sons Great Catch Fishing Experience, where we gather fathers from the community, take them fishing, expose them to resources, and allow fathers and sons to spend that quality time together. But this year, we're going to do something a little different. We actually are also going to do a panel discussion talking about 5 pillars of fatherhood, and the topic will be balancing fatherhood. That's our mental health, our physical, spiritual, mental, and it's our ability to be present with our kids. And, we go through so much as men, that it allows us to really hone in on the 5 pillars that can really help our young men to grow, also help the single moms, the fathers, and the primary caregivers an opportunity to really figure out what aspect they can probably take, because some, parents may only have just that one parent in the home, and there's just, so many things that may be missing. But when you have these panel discussions talking about these things, it just really gives another perspective on raising kids in a single parent home.
And that's called, the panel discussion is Balancing Fatherhood?
Balancing fatherhood. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just try a new technique. Okay.
Okay.
See if it'll let me. So, oh, look at that, y'all! Panel discussion, balancing fatherhood. Look, we getting there, brother. I need to hire a secretary. Yeah. So they can find that on your Eventbrite page. Maybe you
Yes,
can
sir.
send some of them a link
Absolutely.
after the show. Okay.
Absolutely.
You said last year you had around 70 people, was it?
Yes, sir.
Wow, brother. That's give you your flowers. That's impressive to get 70 people anywhere, right? Unless it's the club or my old 2 to 6s, right? The 2 to 6 used to jump off. But Azar has a few questions for you. And after this next question I'll ask you, I'll let my brother jump in. I don't want to seem like the greedy host, but my brother sits back and does observation. Then whatever he asks, you're like, yo, where in the hell you learn that? His questions are powerful, man.
Okay.
He said on Tiny's show that for the second chance, sometimes that's people's first chance. So we got the your pressure washing. We have the B&H Enterprises, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said an affirmation, paraphrasing. I see you doing it all the time. I was getting ready to say, yeah, let me borrow some money because you're right. I read your post and I had to reread it. Mm-hmm. And you were saying like a future note to yourself. B&H Enterprises, multi-streaming millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
We just learned through science, according to the ancient people knew it forever, that affirmations change your DNA, what you speak into it. Why do you do that? And how important is that for you to pass on to your children?
It's changed my life so far. It's changed my life. I mean, I can remember years ago, I was just that negative guy who I won't even say negative. I just didn't think that things would always work off in my favor. But I either knew that I was going to have to keep thinking like that and I was going to get the same result, or I had to upgrade my thinking to get different results. And I tell you, Shawn, everything that I've written down, I mean, I have posters at home, on my bathroom mirror, on my son's bathroom, because I understand that if you put those things into the atmosphere and you put just a little bit of action behind it, it'll work itself out. So I'm huge on the affirmations for sure. Man,
blessings. All right, Azar.
Okay, I'm just being patient, man. Patience is a virtue. But what I noticed, I was reading your bio and several things stuck out. They stuck out to me, especially you being a serial entrepreneur. That's heavy. You're serial, man. Meaning you got multiple things that you do. You build them, then you push them out and sell them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Before you expound on that central, that serial entrepreneur, self-reflection. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So, and checking yourself before you wreck yourself, you must have knew that something was wrong with you. Tell us about those two things if you can remember what I was saying, because I know I'm very passionate and I'm explosive. I'm about to jump out the seat. But stay on the horn. That's why they call you Brandon Horne. You got a big horn.
That's it. Well, once I realized I was the problem, I made a post the other day. Well, let's back up a little bit. I hired a business coach several years ago. Really changed my perspective on how I viewed things. He not only was my business coach, but he was also a life coach of mine as well. And it really took my business from, one level to the next level in a matter of months. And it really allowed me to realize that, number one, I don't have the answers to everything. And number two, that I was still playing defense on myself, because once we've been doing something for so long, a lot of us are first generational entrepreneurs. It allows us to think that we got it and we know it and we know how to move and do things. But I realized I was the problem. And once I realized I was the problem, my life and my business changed.
Wow.
Look, brother, so, we got him in the center now. We're doing it right.
That's
it. Hey, Brandon, what are some of the things you instill in your son? You have a son, right?
Yes, sir.
So everything you do, he's watching you.
Everything.
How old is he?
He's 12.
He's 12 years old, but he's really 20 because his mind is booted up. Every generation gets wickeder and wiser.
That's it.
So what are some of the things you instill in this young man? There's a lot of peer pressure going around. A lot of peer pressure, and being a young man like that, that's almost 20 years old, even though you think he's 12. If you don't, if you think he's only 12, ask him something about your business and watch him take it and give you something that you say, wow. But what do you tell this young man? What do you instill in him? How do you relate to him?
Bro, that's a heavy question, man. That's loaded. Because, you know, I love my father to, you know, to life, but there were certain things my dad didn't teach me that now I'm also getting a taste of it, and to see how you got to know how to save, how to get your credit right, how to, you know, be a businessman. Not only just, I told my son during COVID, let's go get you 2 bikes. We'll rent the other one out so you can start making money on that other bike. Just instilling those things in his mind to let him know that we ain't always got to wait on the next person to provide for us. I get it. He's only 12. And sometimes I had to apologize to him because I'm dumping 37 years into him at such a young age. But, you know, I try my best to just teach him to be a leader. I know something that our young kids struggle with the most nowadays is confidence. And just making sure that he loves himself and know that he got to rely on himself in certain areas, but I got to make sure that I give him the tools to know what he need to rely on himself with. And, you know, it's so many things you could do when it comes down to reading, and just understanding that reading is life. You know, if you struggle with reading, let's figure this thing out. Let's learn how to read, because you're going to get outside these walls at some point, and your life is going to depend on whether you know how to read and articulate what it is that's being given to you.
You're a hell of a motivator, man. You're a hell of a motivator. Tell me, who motivates you, or what motivates you?
Oh, man.
What do you tell this young man?
Understanding that reading is life. So I had I would listen to Les Brown all the time.
Man, love Les.
Jim Rohn. I listen to these guys daily. I got to be honest with you, man. I know that in life is going to happen. Life is going to happen, and we ain't got no, you know, my motto is master what you can, accept what you can't. And it just allows you to look at things a little different. But, you know, listening to motivational things from the time I wake up, even while I'm out in the field, while I'm working, because somebody going to either tell me no, something's going to happen. And I just need to be able to say, hey, look, everything's going to be all right. It's a phase and you'll get through it. And it just takes the pressure off sometimes. It don't allow me to stress as much as I used to before I started really adopting the mindset of knowing that everything's going to be okay. And not only just having a positive mindset, but putting action behind that.
Can I ask you guys something totally off subject?
Sure.
Can y'all see that? Let's see.
That's it.
Don't we look good, y'all?
That's it, bro. Yes, sir.
Throw a little humor in there.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Azar, keep bombing away, man. I'm just sitting back enjoying. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I was also thinking about, you know, your son, he looking at you every day, he watching you every day. If you had only 1 hour left on earth, brother, what would you do with it? Think about it. Just 1 hour you got left on this earth. What would you do with that 1 hour?
Man. Love on my son, you know, and just show him and just give him all I could, you know, spend that quality time. My son and I have a great relationship. Gosh, I've never been asked that question before. That's a great question. So just to give as much as I could.
Well, the reason why I can come up with them is because I'm feeding off of you, and I'm an empty glass, and you can take everything I have and put it on the head of a pen. And, you know, looking at you, man, taking a leap of faith, because I got a business called Bang Hard Apparel. You're motivating me. You're motivating me.
Right.
I'm just thrilled to have you on the show. And so many people, man, are looking at you, man, and they want to do it. And they got people telling them they can't. And,
you know,
what do you tell them? Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
that kills more things than anything in this world. The fear of thinking you can't do. One of the things I do when I meet anybody that's older than me, I don't care what their situation may look like, but I ask them, what would be some words of advice you could give to a young man that's really trying to find his way into the world? Myself, a lot of them say, keep going, believe in God, invest in yourself, and don't fear what's to come. Just know that things are going to be right in time when you do what you're supposed to do. Um, I just believe that in terms, if you focus on the things that you really need to focus on, uh, and give yourself grace. I'm learning that day in and day out. I just got finished, talking to one of my guys about it. I sometimes could beat myself up, but I only do that for a few seconds, because I understand that if I continue to do it, my mind will continue to play those same thoughts into myself. So what you speak out is going to continue to play in your mind. So I try my best to, if I speak on it for a few seconds, I fill it right back up with something positive. Hey, look, everything's cool, Brandon. You got it. This is just a phase of life, and this is how things are going to go. So just being able to counter those thoughts, because those thoughts are going to happen. And in order for you to counter those thoughts, you gotta be able to have something in your bank to say, hey, look, everything's gonna be all right.
Hey, speaking on that bank, let's do this. Y'all, we like to give people their flowers. It's no big deal, but we donate 20% of our Cash App for the show to our guest. Don't be stingy. I'm not a preacher. I'm not asking for all your money or even 10%. Y'all see the Cash App right there? That's $ShawnSpilman, Azar Muhammad, Brandon Horne. Let's get some people to sponsor the show. Putting into your bank. How important it is. Go ahead. You're about to say. I see
I
it.
was gonna say, whatever you decide, whatever's donated or what have you, just put into the Be Positive movement.
Okay.
We can get more fishing rods, where we can get just, have more to give to the young kids that's gonna be there.
Right.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Back to what you
No. Don't listen. That's okay. So I'm asking you. Maya Angelou said this best.
said.
You want to see what the people believe? Follow their wallet. I'm
Mm.
asking you, if you like this content, we don't care if it's $1, $5, $20. We like the hundreds because we're grown men with our own businesses. All
That's
three
it.
of us. So you got two successful black men right here. They can be a mentor for black boys, young white boys, anybody. Watch these two guys, from Bang Hard Apparel to B&H Enterprises, putting into your bank.
Mm.
How important is it to teach our children not just the financial aspects and application, but would you suggest a spiritual bank? Like, how do you teach your son? Do you feel like they're too young, or how would you teach them to invest in their spirituality?
Man, that's powerful, because I know that my mom and my grandmother put me in the church, and I was in church every weekend, every Sunday. Bible study is on Wednesdays, and I have a relationship with God right now that, is like no other. I mean, I'm sure everyone has their own, but I believe that in order for me to really pour into my son has to see me sometimes be weak. I show my son it's okay to cry, especially if I'm moving and the spirit is moving on me. He'll come up, he'll hug me, and he understands what that looks like in terms of just making sure that we pray. We make sure we pray daily before
Really?
we walk outside these four walls, because we don't know what can happen once we leave this house. And I explain to him day in and day out, anything you need in this lifetime, you got to rely on your source, and that's God.
Hmm.
Wow. Amazing.
Hey, listen, speaking of a godly man, I just want to give a shout out to two of our brothers that are on the live. And I just wanted to go over here into the Facebook side. And my wife says it's unavailable. Okay, I hear you. We got my brother DJ Justice, David Smalls, man. Oh, the Cash App is on the screen, brother. You should see it on the screen. I bet you DJ Justice will donate. And then we got my other brother, man. Oh, peace, Rick Welch, man. What's good? Man, we got some heavy hitters in here tonight, y'all. Got my brother. We got to get an interview with. Listen, the three gentlemen I'm talking about right now, we have to get interviews with, right?
Okay.
One is Rick Welch, powerful man. Powerful, brother. We got Curtis Friday. Pastor Curtis Friday's watching. Give a shout out to him.
I got.
Now that brother's powerful. Talk about changing lives and what he did in the church in Winston. And I actually been to a few of his services. And when I say a brother is anointed, talking
Absolutely.
about Pastor Friday, I need to get you on the show. Rick Welch, both my brothers, David Smalls. Man, we have so many gems in our community. You know that. Like I always tell people, I'd take the top 10 to 50 rappers in Winston and put them against anybody. I promise you, Winston, as much as it gets a negative rap for violence, has hundreds of beautiful brothers. I'm not talking about the women. That's a whole nother class. We have so many beautiful people. Let's see. Did we just get a Cash App? Oh, man. Let's see. Did we just get a bing on the money? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing. I don't want to sound like one of those preachers late at night, 2 a.m. If you don't send the money, you won't get blessed. Hey, Muhammad, go ahead. Let's see. I think we just got one. It's like fishing, Horne. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, I don't see nothing on the Cash App, y'all. Maybe my Cash App is slow. We're going to give everybody a benefit. So, speaking about the fishing program, I'm terrible at fishing. The only fish I knew how to catch was the women back in the day. And sometimes you wish you could just throw them back in the water, right? How important is fishing for young men?
I think it just really teaches quality time, and patience. There's so many different lessons in fishing, that's applicable to life long term. A lot of kids may think, as a lot of us say, this is the microwave generation where we think things are going to just happen overnight. This fishing event really just teaches them, hey, look, take your time, be patient. Sometimes you gotta hook the right bait on there. And in terms of life, you got to make sure you're giving a little bit more time into whatever it is that you're looking to do to make things flourish. So I think that fishing is probably one of the best things that a kid can do in terms of learning about patience and quality time.
Wow, like profound. Hey, Azar, you got to take over because I got people trying to send the Cash App. Let's see.
I like that. I like that aspect you're talking about. You're talking about going fishing. You make too much noise on the bank.
Yeah.
You run the fish away.
That's it.
You got to have a bass. You got to have corn for a bass, and you got to have liver for a warrior, a catfish, because he like that blood. So you gotta. When dealing with people, you have to understand that people are individuals, right? And so you teaching them that everybody's not the same, and don't expect people to be like you. So you got people that are Muslims, you got people that are Catholic, you got all different kinds of people. But if you ever to speak the language, so I'm understanding that you know how to speak the language. But what I want to ask you is, man, you go back and pressure wash that woman's house that you messed up.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know, man. I love Azar Muhammad. He is behind Charleston White. This man right here is the most controversial man on podcasting in America.
I think I gave her a discount. I don't think I ever went back because at the time I was renting machines and things. So I did.
Is she still living?
I'm sure she is, and if she is,
man, go back and watch that woman's house, man, please.
Yeah, I definitely messed that thing up, man. But it was like I say, it was a learning experience, and then she also paid me. But
wait, she paid you, yo? Hey, listen, I want to give a shout out to my brother Chad Wayne, man. He's an artist, man. One of my brothers out of High Point, man. He's tuning in. Fellas, as much as I love you, man, where are the women? I think we're 3 good-looking men. Come on, ladies. Wife, don't get jealous. Chime in and show us some love. Hit the Cash App. Anybody that's on this thing, man, show me some love with some Cash App. If you got to write me a check that we can cash next week, we'll accept that too. Hey, listen, that's funny about he tore her house, then he gave her a discount. But it's those errors that if they really hurt your soul,
yeah,
you will never do them again.
Yeah.
You will move forward. Speaking of that, moving forward, Azar Muhammad, we got to have this brother. Everybody you've interviewed, we got to have him on again.
Right.
We're already 30 minutes into it, and we haven't even just touched the tip of the iceberg. So, speaking of iceberg and touching the tip of something, you have now been in business for yourself with I'm talking about B&H Enterprises. Now, how long has that been in existence?
I got that LLC back in 2021.
Okay.
So pretty much what we did is we created a concierge program for homeowners because, I thought there was just way too much money being left on the table. So we created this concierge program for homeowners who may say, hey, look, I want to sell my home and don't have the capital to do so. So what we did, we just allowed pressure washing to be the bank. And we created the capital. So when a homeowner needs everything, we go through, lawyers, realtors, or what have you, get the loan. We apply the work. And once the work is done, we get paid on the back end. And we also make the interest off of what we invested.
Wow.
I want to give a shout out to my older brother that's on here watching, man, out in Washington State, man. We got people from Africa watching, Washington State. Okay, go ahead, Azar.
You got B&H Enterprises. You started off washing the house, pressure washing. Even though you messed the woman's house up, you came right back and gave her a discount. So look, I want to hear Rising. Do you see yourself doing anything like making a homeless shelter, man? You look like somebody who might want to do a homeless shelter or something like that. You ever thought about doing a homeless shelter or something, making a homeless shelter for people?
If God put it in my spirit to do so, I'm following the lead. But right now, I'm just letting them lead the way. I'm letting them lead the way and just doing whatever it is that I can to really make sure that I'm giving back into the community. My passion is the youth. Because I remember dropped out of high school. Was in the streets for a while. But there were so many people who stuck by my side when I was going through that transition. That is how, and that is who I am today. My real passion is the youth. But if
that's that group home, then that's that group home.
If that group home does come on, yeah, I would love to be able to make that investment as well, and have a place, a safe space for young men to go to. I don't want anybody to be like, oh, he's a male misogynist, but as a man, I know what it takes for these young men to really thrive and what it takes for them to grow and to have other young men to be around them, to show them the way and the ways of going to where they need to be. Because I was that one child, I was lost in a sense. And, by the grace of God, I'm found now. So, and still got room to grow.
Hey, Azar, my brother does what's called a self-reflection thing on his page. You said just one day ago, once I realized I was a problem, my life and business changed. Self-reflection. In today's time, we almost are the opposite end of that. It's never self-reflection. It's always victimization mentality, the victim mentality. How important is self-reflection to you?
Man, it'll change your life. Because once you hold yourself accountable and you know that what you need to do is going to only help you or keep you down to where you are, it's a whole nother mindset that you definitely want to adopt. Because a lot of the time, as you said, we play victim a lot of the times. We, put ourselves in these positions to where, we feel like everybody's after us or to get us. But, what is it that you're doing wrong? And that's one of the things that I teach my sons. When he come home and tell me that his teacher is saying such and such or whatever the case may have been, what could you have done differently? Allow him that opportunity to see himself and where he could have done things differently to have a better outcome. So it's so important. And I highly encourage anybody to do it and to, adopt that mindset into their lifestyle.
Wow, that's powerful. Azar, you hear
Yes,
me, brother?
Sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
I was just thinking, man, that how important self-reflection was for me. When you study the spiritual scriptures, you'll see that from Moses, Jesus to Muhammad, the information there was, God put a struggle in front of them, and they didn't instantly find a solution. They had to go to isolation. Some people, that's prison. We hope that we get that isolation before we reach the graveyard. God gives you a little smack, little smack, little smack. So in that isolation is your oneness to God, just you and God, because these distractions out here are so serious that we get caught into the women, the materialistic things. just trying to keep up with the Joneses
Mm.
or the Tyler Perrys. They've been saying Jones. I don't know if that was white people or black people, but haven't we been saying that for years, trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Right. So I
How
was
in
just
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
no. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No.
But some,
When you cut me off, it's because you have something better. So I'm gonna listen. That's my brother.
he was talking about self-reflection,
Yes,
which is
sir.
self-examination, which
Mm.
is self-analysis, which is self-correction. All of that is the basis for community development.
Mm.
I think that. Do you think that is what gave you a desire to build your will when you started reflecting, thinking, and then you started examining, then you started doing an analysis, then you started doing a correction. So you started, I was thinking, was that something you think that built your will, gave you a desire to build your will so that you could overcome?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And like I say, really just having a strong team of men behind me. Again, Curtis Friday was one of them. My coach. There was just so many things, not only that they instilled in me and I was instilled in myself, but it was just a matter of just knowing that things were going to get better as things went on. I know a lot of the times as men, we like to hold things in or compartmentalize things. And sometimes we just got to let those things out. Have someone you can talk to. But also making sure when you're listening to different things, make sure it's just not rap music all the time. Make sure it's just you're not watching TV all the time, but make sure you're putting something in that you can actually fall back on when those times do get tough.
One of
So,
our
so,
OG. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I got to
so,
cut you off for radio announcements. Excuse me. One of our OGs, Tim Robinson, just signed, and everybody from Winston knows Tim Robinson. Shout out, love you, bro. Got to get you on the show. On that note, Azar, forgive me. Chad Wayne said that he was in Thompson's Children's Home in Grand Falls. Did I hear him right? Let me see if I understood that right. He said that he was. Yeah, he was in the children's home. If I'm understanding, Chad, I don't want to misrepresent you, brother. Am I saying that story right? It says Tom. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe he was mentioning the homes that we can help out at. Okay, I don't want to mistake. Okay, go ahead, Muhammad.
so, now that you have a job, I mean, now that you created a business, I'm sure now that you have to now you have to free yourself.
Mm.
Have you found anyone to reproduce yourself with?
Mm.
Yeah.
Man, I'm actively looking for that now. In terms of me stepping away from one space, I'm actually in the process now. My mindset is now I got to buy back my time. I've wasted so much time over the years and learned through those processes that trying to find someone who can emulate that is just really a challenge at times, as you may know as a business owner. And am I answering the question correctly?
Hey, brother, whatever you say,
Okay.
that's correct. That's
Uh,
correct.
I just
That's
want to
you.
make sure it's on the same frequency.
Yeah.
But
We're on the same frequency. It's about you.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be narcissistic. It ain't nothing about me at all. I'm learning. I'm learning now. I'm listening and learning, closing both ears and trying to take this one mouth so I won't talk so much so I can hear.
Yes, sir. Well, again, um, really trying to find someone to, take care of the baby that I've created is a challenge. I built something and, it's just kind of hard to say, hey, look, do this and, just kind of walk away from it. So just bringing guys in as, as an employer and just training them to do the different things that I do that I believe in, that trust that they could do as well. I have, 3 employees now and they do very
Wow.
well. So it's just really one of those things where I'm just trying to make sure that I'm giving them the leverage that they need to grow. Because I tell anybody who comes on under either B&H Enterprises or Brandon's Pressure Washing Services, I'm not here to shine. I'm not here to steal the light from what it is that you want to do. I'm only here to help you to grow and to be who you want to become.
Wow, that's great.
Speaking of your business, man, your commercials are dope.
Ah,
Do you want to shout out who shoots your commercials?
Sure, yes, sir. My man Alex. I can't even think of Alex's last name, but he does an amazing job. Alex Cutler, Alex Cutler is his last name. He does an amazing job. So, and I believe the content really changes, how people view whatever it is that you're trying to put out there. So, I don't mind paying a few dollars or having someone come out, shooting a few videos, and really allowing that content to do what it needs to do.
Do you ever use drones in your video?
Yeah. So my last video, the commercial I shot for the Fathers and Sons Fishing was shot with a drone. So, we got that done, but I hadn't done any oversighting videos from a drone perspective on any commercial work that we've done.
I would suggest, like, Michael Vick used to do my drone shooting. I don't know if he's still doing that, but David Smalls out of Greensboro, DJ Smalls, man, I need to link y'all up, man.
Absolutely.
His drone skills, I mean, he's so good that they fly him over to other African countries and other Spanish countries. He's out of Greensboro.
Oh,
yeah. He's one of our brothers, man. If he's still watching, man, give him his flowers, man. Not only does he able to get the top angles, man, he's able to do that turn, like while we're in there. I just got an inbox message from a young man. Okay. Oh, he wants to be anonymous. Okay. We'll ask that question towards the end. Okay. So, Azar Muhammad, when you asked him that question, maybe I'm slow. I thought you were alluding to, is he have a queen and is he looking for a woman, or is he with a woman to procreate another form of him? Is that what you were saying, Azar?
No, no, I wasn't saying that. I was saying, have he found anyone that is he looking for anyone to reproduce? It doesn't have to be biological. It can be.
I misunderstood.
No, it can be, but spiritual. That's more of being spiritual, taking something that's not necessarily coming from his loins and producing it with his mindset.
Coming from his loins. You could tell he was raised in the church.
No, I wasn't raised in the church, in the streets, but I did a lot of listening, and I learned a lot in the streets that I didn't learn in the church. But I'm more of an observer, but it ain't of me. It's about him. That man with the yellow shirt on, Alpha Phi Alpha. Why y'all holler? Don't y'all holler when y'all talk? One of them things. Don't y'all do that?
Y'all
don't holler. One of them holler. Which one of them holler?
We men are we.
That's them cute dogs that be hollering and wearing them diapers. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
But anyway, but anyhow, as have you? Sometimes it dawns on you that, hey, I'm free, man. I'm my own boss. You ever ride down the road and say, damn, man, I'm free, man. I ain't got to go work for nobody today, man. How does that feel, man? To get up. I just want to know, how does it feel to get up, man, when you get ready, man? Even though you don't do that, you got to go, man, how does that feel, man? That got to be the best feeling in the world. I desire that, man.
Your time's coming, brother. I
hate working for somebody. I don't care if you pay me. Hey, I don't care if you pay me that $1 million every second. Just knowing
you're working for yourself right now, man. Look, you're doing your own thing. You don't have no on this.
Yeah, I understand that. But hell, I got to get up in the morning. But listen, he know what I'm saying. How does it feel, brother?
It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I was just telling a few of my guys today, I just feel like things were just happening while we were working on this big project. And, I just told him, I said, this is one of those days where I wish I could go and sit behind a desk only playing. But, it's a bit bittersweet. I don't have to wake up and, I don't have to ask nobody, can I take off work to go get my son? Sneak and be on the phone, go eat lunch at 10 o'clock. And I ain't throwing no shade by no means, but it's a bit of
no, throw shade, man, and wake some of us up. Throw shade, throw rain, throw hell, throw sleep. Throw it, man. Just throw it both hands.
Man, it's bittersweet, but the hustle is real. So, you got to make sure you on the grind daily. And as an entrepreneur, as you all know, man, there's really no days off out here.
So what separates you from another business owner such as yourself? What do you think separates you? If I wanted to call you and say, "Hey, man, I need my house washed, my house pressure washed," what do you think that not knocking nobody that Brandon Horne is going to do that most people won't do? Number one, are you going to be there on time? I'm going to have to wait for you.
Nah, I'm gonna be there. We will be there on time, and I'm also going to give you a level of professionalism. I'm not going to answer the phone, hello, or how some may answer the phone. No shade, but definitely a level of professionalism. I'm going to definitely keep it very concise. I'm going to educate you on what the things is that you need to know about your home. But even when it comes down to the B&H investment sides of things, we want to make sure that you know what type of equity you're getting put into the house, or we're going to add in, or what are the different things that you want to add into the home to make you feel comfortable when you sell that home. It's going to continue to add value to your home. So I just believe I got that dog in me, and we just want to make sure that we're giving everybody all of what we have day in and day out to make sure that we keep our name to the highest level of integrity that there is.
So your name, so that name, living up to the name, you value that a great deal, and you put a lot of emphasis on that. Every time you talk, you put a lot of emphasis when they say your name, Brandon Horne.
Yes, sir.
You put a lot of emphasis on that, and you always smiling or whatever, and because I think you really hear it. Because sometimes we talk, but we don't hear ourselves.
Right.
But I think you really hear yourself, and I think that when you stepped out on that faith, and the people, your mentors, I don't think you really want to let them down. I think that's what got a lot to do with it too. You don't want to letting people down, other than yourself. You hate letting people down.
Man, you can see right through me, can't you?
Now I'm just listening to you, and
that's one of my biggest things. Number one, I don't want to let myself down, but to those who've come before me, who really invested into me in whatever way that they have, I just want to make sure that I continue to do the things that I know I need to do, and to really set the standard for what they believe that they think that I can. But at this point in my life, I ain't really concerned. I really try my best not to concern myself about what people think about me, because that can really be a hindrance into how you grow. I've learned to make sure that I am very respectful. Mannerisms are there, and you're gonna receive me as I'm giving it to you. Like, there's nothing fake or phony and none of that. We're gonna give you all authentic sides of everything. So we just want to make sure that in terms of making sure that they're comfortable, I'm comfortable, and everything works out in itself.
Hey, guess what? On that note, let me say something to you real fast, gentlemen. We one of our great brothers in the community, Ronald Green, says you have to learn who God is so that he can teach you who you are, so that you can teach others who God is, so that when they learn who God is, they can learn who they are. Wow. And he also said, Brandon, we need to link, bro. So Brother Ronald Green wants to link with you, brother.
Absolutely.
And back to my brother, Chad Wayne, he said he was in both of those. So now, wow. How do we follow up that, man? You got people on here that really want to link up with you. Ronald Green, he is a, powerful brother. And he's a member of Union Baptist Church, and he's always highlighting what Pastor Mac, give a shout out to Pastor Mac in Winston. If we just, and this is no disrespect to anybody else around the world, we can do a podcast for years and still not run out of enough talent and subject matter just in Winston-Salem alone.
Right.
So Ronald Green wants to link with you. Do you know Brother Ronald?
I don't think so. But
well, he wants to link with you.
Name, but I probably know him by face.
Curtis Friday, Pastor Curtis Friday said, "This is fire, man. This is flame." I want to give a shout out to him. I can't believe, man, that people have stayed on to watch us this long. This is a blessing. We know that they can be anywhere, and their time is very important. We appreciate their time. We are limited unless the boss, Brandon Horne, gives us more time. But, ladies and gentlemen, you have another 11 minutes with him. Send your questions in. Brandon, remember I told you how fast that hour would go?
You did. It's the whole vibe out here.
Man,
but To the listeners out there, as you all know, some may not, that I do a Wednesday Words of Wisdom, and that's just really to encourage the people on weekly. And I only do it on Wednesdays because, that's midweek. Monday, a lot of people may be burnt out come Tuesday, Wednesday, so we want to make sure that we continue to push the positive message on the Wednesday Words of Wisdom, whether it's 5 or 10 minutes. I just want to make sure people understand that everything's going to be all right. And that's why we continue to push that narrative.
On another note, listen, man, we getting a lot of hits. Bam, Houdini, Dini Who says, Brandon, what's up, bro? Always been a solid guy since day one. Then he put the flex sign. Teresa Thomas says, I'm really enjoying this. My daughter Catalina says, this is the truth. Or she said this, like she likes it. Hey, y'all, man, we always say, Muhammad, if we could reach 1, we've been successful. But tonight we reached about 20 or 30, and then we don't know what the stream will do tomorrow. We find out that the next few days is generally when it explodes. We don't want it to implode, but we want it to spread out.
Okay.
So do you still want to end at the hour mark, or what is your flow like? Because I got about 20 more questions, but I'll save them for the round 2. Next time we're going to do the suit and ties and the little wine glass and the cigars.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
We could go.
Okay, so we'll try to run to an hour and 15 minutes, and then we'll stop, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good time to get your wallet. See, I say get your wallets ready. Really, it's not even your wallets ready. It's just really cards, right? Remember when you used to get your cash together, hit the Cash App. Maybe my phone is slow. I haven't seen no Cash App yet from the listeners, but it isn't all about money. More importantly than the money is your time, your comments, your input. Azar, we talk about the money's coming. Right?
Oh, you don't have to worry about the money.
Man,
just do the work.
Just
do the work. Just do the work. The money coming, and don't even worry about what you said. Don't worry about what you say or how you say it. When the Creator gets behind you, when the God gets behind you, and when he gets in front of you, when he take those 20, he don't need no million. He don't need but 1.
Man, what?
So that's because we're trying to do the work, and that brother trying to go get the youth. And I got a question to ask him about this youth that he loves so much, that I love so much.
Oh, we got Azar. Can I cut you off real fast?
Cut me off, brother. I haven't come back.
Listen.
Go ahead.
All right. I like to give preference to our heavy hitters in the city. We got so many of them. Antonio Stevenson just said, "What makes you?" Just chimed in. What makes you do what you do, brother?
Where I come from, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I give out of wishing that I wish my dad was there to do it. Now, let's be clear. My dad was there, but he wasn't. He was there, but he was just present. He wasn't really a disciplinarian or anything like that. So there's just certain things that I wish that my dad would have done for me that I'm instilling within my boy, that I also know that my son is going to grow up around some of these kids that's coming into this, be positive movement phase. That we want to make sure that we continually pushing positivity into the community. So really just the passion to really be able to give back to the generation. And Antonio Stevenson is definitely a pillar in the community when it comes down to that. Preach. And my flowers to you, brother, for sure. Because it's people like him who really comes and support the Be Positive movement every year. He's been with me every single year. And I greatly appreciate him. And, his desire, my desire meshed together. I mean, we could change the world.
Speaking of that, let's support our brother. Listen, we gave away 4 of these on the show. What can we give away tonight, Muhammad? The brother's giving away a whole bunch of knowledge. We like to do a little game I said, who wants his book? The first to say I do, we give 2. We met with the brother, got the books, and man, these books are powerful. And guess what? My feelings are hurt because he only had 1 of his books for me. I bought them for the guests, right? We donated them to the guests, right? Tiny is the GOAT to mentoring. Who said that? Let's see who said that. Lanita. Oh, Sister Lanita, man, you're an angel. Y'all, if you're not friends with her, man, become friends with her on Facebook, man. She shares panel discussions, everything positive. Antonio, we love you, brother. We love you, man. Just to be able to say that I had Antonio Stevenson, aka Tiny, and Brandon Horne on the show is enough for me. We feel like, me and Azar Muhammad talk behind the scenes, we feel like what we're doing with this podcast is God's work. But I want to change it up for a little bit. This is for the younger people that might think the way to success is a crazy meme or something, the women taking off all their clothes. You're a good looking brother. Why do you say be positive when you could just go do some sex tape with the Kardashian and be famous overnight, show them the six pack, but you like doing, be positive? Why are you taking the wholesome route?
Man, my son's looking.
Preach.
What I do now affects their future. So I got to make sure that I move strategically in a space of just making sure that I'm not only teaching them, but I'm also setting up my last name, our last name, for their better future.
You sound like a black man from the 60s and 70s that I was raised around. Wow,
hey,
that's powerful.
And
that's powerful.
I don't really care to be an attention seeker, but when the vibe's right, it just kind of happens. It just kind of flows. So I just want to make sure that my boys know, hey, look, my dad did everything he could to make sure we had everything we needed, and me showing muscle, whatever that looked like, that ain't really doing nothing for them. That's nothing.
Wow. Okay, go ahead, Azar. Go ahead, brother. I know it.
You took my question out of my mouth about 36 seconds ago. But I think I got one more. And going back to these youths, I think I will try to get my brother Sensei Shamik Muhammad to come in, because we need all that other stuff, but we got to know how to fight.
Absolutely.
And a lot of us don't know how to fight. So martial arts, judo. My brother is a fifth degree Dan, and I'm sure I could get him to assist you with some of those young boys and teach them how to fight. And then teaching them how to fight, teaching them discipline. So when they say they know how to fight, you got to bring somebody up there and say, okay, go fight then, because you fight here first. That's where your fight is at first. That's what he taught me. So my question is, do you think that our youth needs to learn how to fight?
Yeah, I don't think we would have as many killings as we're having.
We got to learn to protect our community, right?
Yeah.
So how can we protect our community if we don't know how to fight? If you got 50 soldiers up there, say you got 50 soldiers that know how to fight, they ain't got no problem protecting their community.
That's it.
We got to protect our community.
I think it's sad. We hearing something on the news weekly about a young brother that's probably passed from senseless murder or whatever. But I think that we should have like a big boxing ring. If you got an issue, square it up. When I was coming up, jokers, we would box. It wasn't no shooting.
Right.
I think
I like that. I like that. A big boxing ring. Big boxing ring. Sammy Jones getting ready to fight Mike Taylor tonight, and get him some headgear. And you better not pick up no gun afterwards. We gonna fight you.
Yeah, that's just what it is, man. And then you get these young men that go to jail, and ain't no guns in jail. You better learn how to box, But
wow,
it's unfortunate, but I think that we got to continue to be patient and give grace to these young kids, man.
Go ahead, Khalil.
I just wanted to say, like I remember my first ass whooping, right? And it's kind of like what you said with the lady's house, like you said, I'm gonna pressure wash, and you got into it, right? And once I got beat, I went about 20 fights without losing, because I said, and then I think my 21st, I just got dogged, right? But I think it's just that hurt, or that if you love to do good, is so powerful. Hey, can we give a shout out? Cash App from David Smalls. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate
any help, any amount helps. God, I don't want to sound like I'm just asking for money, but listen, come on, y'all, ching that Cash App, man. When I had the 2 to 6s, y'all would fight to get in line. $20 for the girls late at night, $40 for the men. The liquor was expensive. Now we're doing something positive. Give of your resources.
But you know what? To that point of doing something positive stuff don't really get the shine that it should get. And I get it, the media, they feed and they win and they get money off of negative energy, but we need to be able to shine more light on positivity, because it starts here. Because if you're just watching the news, if you're just watching social media all the time, and you bringing in all of what they're saying, and you're watching the news on everybody else, people know more about superstars than they know about their own self.
Right. I just want to give a shout out to Laura, my sister from back home, Washington State. We went to school together, but she looks way younger than me. I look like I graduated 10 years ahead of her. Listen, Azar, listen, that boxing thing, brother. What do you think? Who would be the first person? Who would be the first person that we'd encourage to fight each other on a worldwide schedule? The ex-president Donald Trump and who? Vladimir Putin.
No, we're gonna have Donald Trump and Michael Cohen fight. The one that flipped on him. We want both of them fighting.
Right. On a positive note, you're right, B, that a lot of the positivity, it's weird. It's like human nature, right? That 100 people can praise you, but if one person says something bad, you remember that, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. You see the brother in the blue right there, Azar Muhammad. Let me tell you why. He one day, he's been saying to me for years, brother, you got the gift, you got the gift, you got the gift. We got to do it. I'd be like, come on, brother, leave me alone. I'm doing tree work. I got to make this money. And I never made the money. I made the money, but I gave it to someone else. And so my brother kept encouraging me. The Bible says, let your gift make room for you, right? So I think this is what God has anointed me with, the gift of communication. Now, I'm really a dumb individual. My vocabulary is probably like Donald Trump. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You hear me say that a lot. To bring to that point, though, this brother Azar Muhammad is gifted. I'm going to get back to you, but isn't he a great co-host, man? Isn't he phenomenal? Can we give flowers to my brother Azar Muhammad? He can say, we're walking across the street.
All praise is due to Allah.
He can say, we're walking across the street, and he'll fire you up. You're like, well, let's go. So I want
all praises, yo, brother Khalil, all praises due to Allah. Man can't take praise. Man can't take praise. All praises due to Allah, Jesus, God, grandfather, whomever you call him. But I'm not getting in no trouble with that.
Well, I just want to give you your flowers, man. You don't
appreciate that.
Hold on. You don't have to eat the flowers and make a dress out of it and tell everybody how great you are.
No, I ain't gonna make no dress now. I might make a coat, but I ain't making no damn dress.
I love it. I love it. That's my brother. Hey, we do have a question. So I do respect the anonymous. I can't. A young lady on here says, oh, great question. She says, okay, we hear y'all talking about men, but you're a father. What advice would you give to the fathers that may have little girls? She says, on the importance of spending time, not necessarily money. How important is it for daddies to spend their time with their little girls?
Man, it's being that I don't have a little girl. I would imagine it's just as important as spending time with the little boy. From what I understand, a little girl is her father's first love, is what I hear. And I just believe that all the way around the board, it's important to make sure that you're there with your kids. My whole philosophy is this: God won't bless you if you ain't taking care of these kids.
Oh,
and that's just really how I view it. If I'm out here, living it up and doing my thing and ain't taking care of my boys, I can't expect my life to flourish, but for so much. We got to just really put that into perspective and just know that making sure our kids are taken care of and spending that quality time, because that time, it flies so fast, you don't get that time back. So
wow.
I just say spend as much time with your kids as possible. That's where I go with it. But I definitely want to. I'm gonna switch it up real quick. Just encourage the listeners to read more. Reading has really changed my perspective on so many different things. Listening to audiobooks and things like that. The Richest Man of Babylon changed my whole financial perspective. And there's a quote out the book that I try my best to live, but not try, but I do very well at. And it says that incomes turns into the capital. So whatever it is that you're bringing in, make sure you're putting something up, because they talk about filling the purse. And this is the Richest Man of Babylon. You know, your income creates your capital. Your capital creates, the objective of your capital is to create the enterprise, and your enterprise is to create the investments. So just make sure that you are continually reading and putting stuff into your mind that's going to help you to grow. If you're not really good with money and you want to learn how to, put money into a different space so that it can work for you, my business coach told me several years ago, let your money be your employee. Employ your money. Save your money. Stop spending everything that you get so that you can see something. And also another book that I would like to definitely encourage you all to read is on the audio. Definitely listen to Profit First. Game changer. Game changer. If you don't have an inkling, if you don't have the understanding of how to save, or how to put money up or invest money and do different things with your money, listen to Profit First. It will change your financial perspective.
Wow.
Hey y'all, listen, I'm sorry, man. We are paying the bills tonight. Listen, do you read what's on the screen? Do y'all read that? Hey, Brandon, you guys see that?
Evan Gibson and Maurice Heavily, yeah.
My typo, Maurice. Tim Robinson's about to give. Okay, Tim, it's on the screen right now, brother. Wow, listen, y'all, they are really giving like we in church on Sunday, and the preacher just gave a sermon, and he got what's our brother name coming next? My best sermon I ever heard, beside the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan, was what's our preacher's name? Al Sharpton at Union Baptist. You hear me? Man, he talked about the man that beat death. You hear me? And I was like, what? So he was talking about Jesus. When I tell you our Cash App is flowing, y'all, we might be able to get some McDonald's, y'all hear me? But you're keeping the lights on, you're keeping the nice, listen, you're keeping us going. B. Horne, are you there? I'm gonna say this to you. Okay, yes, you're good. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, man. It isn't about the amount of money you send. Let me just say this. Evan Gibson, we got to give it to him, right? He is not, I mean, how you talking? We got to get him on the show, brother. He's out in Greensboro. Me and my daughter Catalina went and watched his movie. Evan Gibson, man, he's an actor. I mean, what doesn't he do? He's a producer. He's a singer. Oh my God, we went to watch this movie. It was amazing. A few hundred people in attendance. Oh man, Evan, thank you for the donation. Marie's Heavenly Sea Moss. I think that's coming from our sister Teresa Thomas. I think that's her business, man. Support her. She's got the sea moss, and now I'm going to get off the big screen and bring it back to you, Azar Muhammad. Azar Muhammad, how important is it for us and our show to continue to have people like B. Horne on here, Brandon Horne? How important, Azar?
Very, very, very important, because most young men haven't seen a young Black entrepreneur other than selling dope.
Or he's not an athlete, I mean, he was.
Or he's not an athlete.
Not that you're athletic, because I know you can throw those 100 push-ups in like it ain't nothing. You say he's not a stripper? Be Horne stripping.
But to see someone that you can relate to.
Right.
See, there's no way in the world that I can relate. They can't relate to Jay-Z. They can relate to him. He's got a goal that's not bigger than life, but something that's attainable. Hey man, can you pressure wash your house? Hey man, can you do concrete? He got something that's attainable. A small goal took him to another goal. This man washed the house, man. Didn't do a good job. He said it, but he came back and gave a discount. And the man went on to form BH Enterprises, and he's a serial entrepreneur. Meaning this man takes businesses and sells them, right? You sell businesses from businesses, right?
No, I'm not selling them yet.
That's what you want to do.
Just growing them and to sell them. Absolutely.
That's what so that's your next phase. is to take these investments and sell them and make some more money and do something else with it. But you started from the bottom. You started from the bottom just to make it to the bottom.
That's it.
And now you on your way. So they can see this man right here. They ain't got to pay no $100 to go to the Coliseum. You're right here. Because I'm telling you, one day he's going to have to pay.
Hey, listen, we got.
So you better get it now.
Wow.
That's it.
So you better get it now.
Better
Hey,
get
listen,
it now.
why don't we make an app with your voice on it, Muhammad?
Man, I done told you about that. You don't get God in trouble with me. Make me get in trouble with God. All praises due to Allah.
No, listen, I'm gonna be your Jewish manager. I'm gonna tell people I'm Jewish. I'm gonna be your manager.
Oh hell, man! Don't say that. You might take my show, man. Don't do that, brother. You gonna take my show? You got a Jew and a Muslim and a Christian. Oh hell!
I love you, this bro. It's crazy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor to have our brother in. I think we're winding down. We got our sister Jacqueline. We got 5 to 10 more minutes with our brother. Let's really get it in. Shoot the Cash App. Shoot the questions. The Cash App is on. Let me get back to the Cash App. I wanted to thank them. Man, I got like 4 people asking me questions about my brother real fast. Listen, y'all, can you read the Cash App? Send to that. Kelsey, I'm sorry. Oh, that's my family. Okay, all the way from Washington, Art, and okay, got you. Family. Hey, sis, how are you? You're way out there, family out there. David Smalls, Art, Laura, Barber, everybody's doing it big. I just got another question. Azar, can I sneak this question in for one of the guests?
Do what you do.
I mean, not one of the guests, the one of the people on Facebook.
Do what you do.
Oh, yeah. He's gonna his name is Brandon Horne. And I don't, when you post stuff, is it public? Because they're asking about the Eventbrite. And he'll tell you all that. If you want to shout it out one more time again while we're on here, y'all got a second here? Yeah, please.
Absolutely. So again, we're going to hold 2 events this year. April the 21st will be our Fathers and Sons Balancing Fatherhood panel discussion, where we talk about the pillars of fatherhood, whether it's mental health, physical, financial, the presence of being there, and spirituality. And then we're going to host our annual event on that Saturday, the 22nd. Fathers and Sons Great Catch Fishing Experience, where fathers around the community going to come together and go fishing. Just have a good time, expose them to resources and all of the above. If you are out there and you want to register your kid for this event, please go ahead and register them. If you don't have, if father's not around, we will have a heavy male presence there. So that will make sure that your son is taken care of, but you will have to sign a waiver. There will be breakfast, there will be lunch, and there will also be some guest speakers there. So please go ahead and sign up, though.
Oh, my God. James Garner Jr. Golly. Let's talk about the importance of mentorship. Who are your mentors and how did you establish that relationship? My God, the questions just keep coming up. Our computer won't even keep up with all these questions.
So, mentorship, Antonio McCoy, he is my business coach. He's been a heavy influence on my life. Even just talking to some of my alpha brothers, Ron Davis, Alvin Younger. There's so many guys out there that I'd be remiss if I, try to give all their names, but I think that, really just being around good, strong, positive men really helps me to grow into who I want to be and hold myself accountable.
Hey, listen, y'all, man, listen. Oh, thank you. I got to read some of these comments, man. Tony, one of our brothers, Tony, Garner, Ronald Green, Tony. Oh man, Miss Bolt. She's accountability is everything. The Garner Realty, man. James Garner, we said that. Chad Wayne,
great guy.
Hey, listen, my brother right here too. I got to give a shout out. He's always supporting us. Tony Johnson Sr. Big shout out to you, Ronald Green. We've said that. Catalina. Man, Bam, I don't know if I'm going to cry right now. He says, Khalil, you never seem to fail me, bro. Your podcast be on point. You can not only make a person laugh, but the power in your message can change someone's life for the better, and that's facts. God, Bam, you're going to make me cry. I love you, brother. You're finally doing your music, man. I'm telling y'all, mark my word, 6 months to a year, the world will know Bam. He's finally doing the covers like Muhammad told me to do my gift. I've been telling Bam. And wait till you see that Jamie Foxx wedding song he did. Go check out Houdini Dini Who. Evan Gibson, thank you for creating positive image for young men world today. It's needed. Man, Evan Gibson, we love you. Dottie Carter, man, she's a legend. We have so many dang legends in this city. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not want to get off, but we have to pay Brandon Horne by the minute. Send the money in, or we have to let him go. No, all jokes aside, in closing, B. Horne, what would you like to say in closing?
All right. To everybody that's out there listening, I got a quick quote I want to say to you. All right. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Keep growing, keep going, and keep glowing. Life is, you're going to go through some things, you know, it's a part of life, but you just got to really be able to take it in, accept, you know, master what you can, accept what you can't, and just know that when you do get hit with life's, you know, when life is lifing, as they say, just know that everything's going to be all right. So again, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best.
God, that's dope. Azar Muhammad, give it to us, brother.
Thank you so much, brother, for allowing me the time to ask you some questions.
Absolutely.
I can ever get this time back. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come into your world.
Yes,
and
sir.
I don't see anything but the sky, man. It's wide open, brother. Go for it.
Yeah, I truly appreciate that. I appreciate you all for the opportunity again to use this platform to put some positive energy out into the atmosphere, because we could, you know, turn the TV on and hear something negative, but to be able to have programs and you know, live streams of such, you know, we want to make sure that we're putting out that positive energy.
Wow. Thank you, man. Listen, I want to thank Azar Muhammad. It's with him, all praise due to God, that we've been talking about this, and he's been pushing me to my gift and my calling. And I thought, if somebody's your coach when you're getting ready for a boxing match, if they're the one in the gym with you, if they're the one in you telling you slip your jab, bob and weave, why not bring them on? I've literally had 30 people that I thought about bringing on this podcast, and I honestly believe, remove me from the equation, this brother can go toe-to-toe with anybody's spirituality, with podcasting. He's just a natural. I want to first give him his flowers. I'll deal with God on that. God forgive me. I'm not into idolatry worship. I'm not building a statue of Muhammad, but I love giving this brother the praise. He probably hears so much negative stuff throughout the day. B. Horne, you know, I've always had the utmost respect to you, from you being cool in the clubs to the time in the streets. From every time I've seen you, man, it's be positive. I need some of your gear, your shirts. I want to start wearing your shirts on my show. My brother that has the Bang Hard apparel, he said he won't give me one of those. He don't even want me to buy one until I lose 50 pounds. Damn it, I look like I'm smoking something. I'm so skinny over here. Look at me. I'm so damn skinny. In closing, I want to thank God that took a poor child that didn't have nothing, but we had faith and a mother to pray. We were so poor that I thought fasting was something you do Monday through Friday. And I want to thank my mother. I come from a beautiful people with the lineage of John Brown. I said it, damn it, if Dr. Umar can claim Frederick Douglass, then ShawnSpilman can claim John Brown. I come from a white people that were abolitionists, that believed in equality. And this is the work of Betty Spilman manifested in me, hopefully through the pleasing of God, through my children, Catalina, and all my babies. I'm proud of them. B. Horne, I love you. I love podcasting. I love tree work, but I love podcasting. For everybody that's watched, man, stay positive. Like my brother said, be positive. We signing out this Thursday. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about our guest to be, our brother Rashid Bey, this Thursday. B. Horne, I love you, man. God bless. Signing out. If you gentlemen will not leave, let me just end the broadcast, and I'll get your social security numbers. I'm joking. God bless y'all.